So guys, I want to welcome you again to this week's session on Bounce Back, right? Now, as you know, my training started with Bounce Back, but now I'm literally teaching you guys how to trade the market, right? Last week we had started with understanding key levels, and the reason why I'm doing this series is because when you're sent a signal, right, you should be able to do your own analysis and understand if you should buy with the signal or sell with the signal. If you see anything that looks strange about the signal, based on your analysis, don't take the trade. Right? That's basically what I'm trying to teach you guys, because I know you guys are in different groups, different signals groups, and so on. So the whole idea is that I want to get you guys to a stage that you can call your own trades, right? I want to make sure that you guys are more profitable than you are right now, right? I want to help you change your situations, right? So when we actually call a signal for you, if Bounce Back calls a signal, Steady calls a signal, Levels call a signal, your analysis should be able to help you to understand whether or not this signal is ready for you to take it or if you should leave it. Right, guys? So last week we focused on key levels, right? Using the daily and 4-hour time frame. Now the rules were, right, we look for the key levels on the daily and the 4-hour time frame. We identify reversal patterns or continuation patterns on the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame. And then we look for our entry using the minute time frame. So I'm going to repeat that again, right? The rules are, we're looking for key levels on the daily and 4-hour time frames. We identify reversal or continuation patterns at these key levels using the 4-hour and 1-hour time frame, and then we use the minute time frames to enter. And by minute time frames, I mean 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, your preference, right? But we want to make sure that when we're entering trades, we can identify a clear pattern, right, at these key levels. So let's look at some pairs. My team had a lot today, a lot of trades I would have sent out. So let's look and see what you can also benefit from, right? Let's look at some setups. 1 second, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Awesome. Good. Now, the first thing I want to go through is you should be active. Firstly, all of you on this call should be active in iMarkets Live. Therefore, if you're active, you all should have the IM Academy app on your phone. Every one of you should have the IM Academy app on your phone, right? The benefit to you is that the IM Academy app has Pit Talk on it. And what I love about this app, right, is that the educators are coming onto this app and literally telling you which trades, which setups, which trade ideas are ready. They're giving you bread on your table, basically, right? So I want you guys to utilize IM Academy. If you're on this call and you don't know what is IM Academy, you need to go to your Play Store on your phone or go to the Apple, the App Store on your iPhone. Search for IM Academy, download it, right? And you will see the tab that marks Pick Top. Please go and subscribe to the educators that you follow, right? I guarantee you it will help you. All right, so good. So let's do a quick recap on last week, and then we're going to move forward and actually look at some trade ideas. We're going to look at some strategies to use for entries, tying it all together with the key levels, right? And then, of course, we're going to look at some bounce back trades as well, right? Good. So first thing I mentioned to you guys, identify key levels, right? So using the rectangle box, as you know I usually use, right? It's already there. You want to identify key areas of support and resistance. Key areas of support and resistance, right? Now, the reason why you want to do this, it helps you to get a better entry as well. Because imagine if you see, let's say for example, we are looking at this support. You see price came here and bounced off, price came here twice. Remember, you just need 2 touches of a particular area to confirm. It's the same strategy that I teach for trend lines. It applies for support and resistance, right? Now, for the trend lines, the strategy that I had on there was 2 touches activate a trend line, 3 touches confirm a trend line, and on the 4th touch look for the break. That's the strategy that we use for the trend line. Support and resistance may not always break on the 4th touch, but you can use the touches to confirm whether or not it is a key level, whether or not it's actually true support and resistance, right? So when you're identifying these key levels, you need to first look for these touches. Secondly, you need to identify that there are major reversal zones. That is a key level. So if you look on the daily and you realize you get a touch here and then it shoots off and it comes back and it comes back again and it does the same thing, means that the buyers are down here. So if the sellers are pushing the market down, and every time it comes here, it gets a serious rejection. You see a lot of wicks, you see the market being rejected all the time, means that the buyers are in this area. This is their zone, and they're pushing the market up every time the sellers come down here, right? So this is your zone that you need to identify. Now, after we've identified the support, you want to go and look at resistance. Now, notice we had Euro USD pushing up, and this is just an example. Now, you can see how the market has created imbalance. And by imbalance, we did not get any pullbacks while the market was trending up, right? We're now starting to get a pullback. So the market now needs to come and fill this imbalance that we have here. Now, if you're looking, you can see how the buyers have literally pushed the market up here. If you're looking to get in on the retest of a particular area, right, the first thing you need to do is identify a key zone. Now, let's identify it together. If we look to the left, and always remember, guys, I know in the academy, you will be taught to look left. And the reason why we're looking left is because we need to pick up our data. We need the data, the market, to help us to decide where are the likely areas that the market will retest to give us a better entry or a cheap entry, because we want to get into these trades cheap, not expensive, right? We want to identify cheap areas that we can get into the market and continue to ride the trend, right, guys? So we can easily look here and see this rejection happening here as support, and equally this rejection happening here as resistance. So using a rectangle box, I am going to identify my support and resistance right here, right? I'm gonna bring it up to there. I'm gonna bring that up to there. So when the market retraces, I am watching this area. So I am not particularly saying that as soon as it touches this area, I'm going to jump in. But this becomes an area that I am going to watch, right? So therefore, when I come down to my 1 hour time frame and so forth, I need to see a clear pattern here at this key level to then decide whether the trade will continue based on a reversal pattern. So if it will continue to trend up, right? Or if it breaks this zone, I need to see a continuation pattern for the sell downwards, right? So I hope you guys are taking notes. I see Sherwin is on the call here taking some notes. Hi, Sherwin. Right? So I hope you guys are taking notes. I'm going to give you literally 10 seconds to grab your notepad because I don't like repeating myself. So I'm going to give you 10 seconds to grab your notepad and your pen and make sure you're taking notes like Sherwin. All right, good. So let's continue. So going back to the daily time frame, what we've identified here is support equals resistance, right? So we can see how the market actually pushed out of this area, created imbalance because we did not get any pullback. Notice we moved from one zone straight out into another zone, right? So while the market went up, right, it was trending strong. It was literally trending strong. And now we need to come back and we need to fill these zones. So I'm not saying that the market is going to drop down to this level, but it could do. It literally could do. And how would you be able to gauge this? Simply by identifying your key zones. And then at these key zones, you need to identify a pattern. And if you don't have a pattern, I think I have my pattern here. 1 second. So everybody should see this. If you could go ahead and you want to take a snapshot of it, or if you want to know where to find this pattern, just go over to Google and just put Forex chart patterns, right? And go to images, and you see it right here. You can't miss it. It's right here, right? I want every single one of you to make sure that you take this pattern, print it, put it as your laptop wallpaper, whatever you need to do, that you can always refer to this cheat sheet when deciding if to take a trade at a key level. It will help you, trust me. All right, so again, you're going to go to Google, you're going to search for Forex chart patterns, right? This is going to come as one of the images. I want you to go ahead, I want you to save it, right? I want you to save it, put it as your wallpaper, print it, do whatever you need to do so that you can always refer to this when you're looking to trade key levels. So if you understood me so far, please type yes in the chat box. Awesome. So let's continue, right? So Euro USD, we also need to identify the resistance of this zone, right, of this particular zone. So for me, I am interested in a lot of these wicks that are happening here. And equally, when I look left, I can see that this is a support equals resistance zone. So I can literally come from here, and this becomes a zone for me, right? So therefore, if I get a reversal pattern when the trade comes down to this level, right, that confirms for me that the trade is going to continue trending up, then I will know overall this is the next zone that I need to pay attention to, right? When the trade gets up here, I know that I need to pay attention and see if it will form a reversal, if it's going to form a continuation, and so on. This is how you build your portfolios every single week, guys. Right? So if I was looking at this trade, I'm coming down to the 4-hour time frame, I need to be able to identify a pattern. If I cannot identify a pattern on the 4 or 1 hour time frame when it's at the key zone, guess what? I am not focusing on that pair for this week. That is not a pair that I am interested in. Right? And that is important. When you actually do your homework, because I do my homework on a Saturday. Saturdays, I come when the market is closed, and I literally draw up my charts, identifying key zones, right? I identify key zones. I try to identify patterns, right? And I literally create that as my watch list. Now, GU is an interesting pair. I know for sure that I can analyze this. Now, first thing, I have identified my support equals resistance, right? I've identified my support equals resistance. So we can see how this is a resistance here equals support. Now, GU did really wonderful last week, right? For the last 2 weeks, GU just kept climbing. Now, if you look on the daily time frame, you will notice that there's a lot of imbalance going on here. And if you guys want to understand more about imbalance, then you would follow Abel, right? Follow Abel. Guys, I push my team to watch Abel now. To find Abel, you just need to go to the IML TV basics folder, and he is there. He literally has the most subscribers now on TikTok, over 4,200, right? And he talks about imbalance. So you can look at this and see that there's imbalance. Why? The market kept trending up. There are no major pullbacks, no testing of key zones. So you know that the market is due to drop. Right? You know that the market is due to drop. So when I start to see wicks in this area, I need to look left and ask myself, why is the market pausing here? Right? And when I look left, I can see that this is also a support equals resistance. Right? Yes, guys, my mother just gave me a kiss on my forehead. Thanks, Mom. Was trying to turn off the camera thing, but it didn't work. Mother's love. Thank you. I hope you had a lovely day. Okay, awesome. Right? So so we're looking at support equals resistance, right? And you can see why the market would have paused in this zone, right? So now I know that the market is going to be setting up for a reversal. So I need now to come down to the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frame to identify a reversal pattern. All right, this is where the cheat sheet comes in. You'll thank me later, right? So using your trend lines, we're now going to identify the pattern that the market is creating, right? So I just want you to identify the pattern. And when we see this, right? When we see this, and we go to that pattern, what does it look like? Can somebody tell me, right? Can somebody tell me which one of these patterns is this here on GU, right? So look at it here on GU, and now look at the Forex chart pattern and tell me which one it is. So Alicia answered. Who else? Which pattern is GU formed? Has GU formed, because it's already formed it. Which pattern has GU formed? Come on, guys. We got 59 people on the call, right? We're learning together. You guys should be paying attention, right? If you're getting distracted by your environment, move to a quiet environment that you can pay attention. I am teaching you something that can pay you for the rest of your life. Thank you. I hope that y'all ain't saying rising wedge because 5 people say above, you know. Right? But definitely is a rising wedge, right? So when we look at GU now, so if we look at this particular one and we go to GU, we can see that it is a rising wedge, right? And from this rising wedge, look what the market did. It was able to now break out of the rising wedge, and now we are preparing for this sell. Where do I expect GU to go long term? Right down to this key level. This is the key level that I'm expecting GU to go. It needs to retest this area. Right? So we've identified the key level. We've identified a pattern on the 4-hour time frame. So now we're looking for entries. This is important, right? This is important. You can see the pattern here in more perspective from the 1-hour time frame, right? So now we need to look for entry, because you just can't decide, okay, coach call to sell, I'm going to market execute. No, you need to identify whether or not you have your entry ready. Right? Now, in order to know if your entry is ready, when you go on the minute time frames, you should also be able to identify a pattern as well. Right? You should also be able to identify a pattern as well. So this is not ready for me to execute a sell. Why? Because if you look here, guys, and I want you to just look and tell me what you see, right? Starting from this candle, the market came down and came back up to this candle, right? It dropped lower and came back up here, and then it's doing what? What type of pattern is this forming? I want my team that is on this call to particularly answer this question. What type of pattern is the market forming right now? Kathy-Ann, Alicia, who else is on this call? Alicia says a teacup. All right, so the rest of the team, I want you to tell me what type of pattern are we forming on the M15 time frame? Everybody else, what type of pattern are we forming? That's right. So when we look here, so look at this pattern. Everybody, I want you to pay attention. Look at this pattern, right? And let's go to the Forex chart patterns now. So using the Forex chart patterns, what type of pattern is GU forming on the M15 time frame? We have 58 people on the call, right? And not give it, really, just give away a hint. But 58 people on the call, come on, guys, tell me in the chat box, what type of pattern are we forming on the M15? So look at the entire Forex chart patterns. Let's look at GU again here, and tell me what type of pattern do you think we are forming on the M15 time frame? Susan, what you feel like you just copy and paste what the people put above? That's right, guys. That's right. Right? So on the M15 time frame, we are forming an inverted head and shoulders. Good one, Susan. You're paying attention. Right? We're forming an inverted head and shoulders. And based on the inverted head and shoulders, you can see that the overall move that we're anticipating now is a move to the upside. Right? So once we go back to GU, right? Once we go back to GU, we can now start to actually put together our case study. So we had a huge impulse, and after impulse, for those who know what happens after the market has impulse. What happens after the market impulse? Come on, guys. I know some of the intermediate and advanced persons know this. It flags. It flies, guys. So if you don't know this information, I hope you guys are making notes. Right? I hope you guys are making notes. So although the wick in the head is longer than the right shoulder, it is an inverted head and shoulders. The wick in the head is, look, this is an inverted head and shoulders pattern. I want you guys to realize that it's not always going to be. Let me get the head and shoulders. Right? So we started from here, come down to here, come back up here, come down here, come up here, and I expect this market to at least come down to here and finish here. Right? So we're forming the inverted head and shoulders pattern. Don't mind that the wick is there, right? Don't mind that. Overall, this area here, if I take a trend line and show you, right here is the support of that left shoulder. And therefore, when I carry the market all the way across, that same area will then become a possible support of the right shoulder. The head is still below. Right? So everybody can see. So, and it makes sense. And that's how I want you guys to be trading. When you look at things, it needs to make sense. I had a huge impulse here. For the market to continue dropping after this would be shocking. I personally would think that GBP crashed or something, that the market just continues to drop after such an impulsive move. So when you do things, when you see patterns, you should be able to say it makes sense, right? So when I look here now, I can say, okay, it's an inverted head and shoulders pattern. It makes sense. You know why? Because after this impulse move, I am looking for the market to come back. It needs to pull back. It needs to pull back to fill the imbalance before we continue to the downside. So is your entry no? No. Your entry now is for you to identify your zones on the smaller time frame. So the first thing that I am identifying is this. Here, right? That's my first zone. So I'm looking for the market, right? To impulse, come back up here, potentially, right? To potentially come back up here, form a reversal pattern, then to continue the drop to the downside, right? And all you need to do at this stage, guys, try not to feel overwhelmed. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I want you to print the Forex chart patterns and just look and use the Forex chart patterns as your cheat sheet. Right? So you're just gonna say, oh, this is like an inverted head and shoulders. When I look left, I could see what inverted head and shoulders is do. Because look, shoulder, head, shoulder, and we got a spike up, right? So notice, I was expecting this market to drop from here. It broke my trend line, created a left shoulder, a head, right shoulder, spike up. I would have been expecting this spike. Retest my trend line, and then it dropped. So now that I am getting another inverted head and shoulders, I'm expecting it to go and do another retest before it drops. And this is why I want you guys to go and look left and understand how the patterns look, right? So this, so I'm not teaching anymore now. Now we're just gonna go through some setups. But I want you guys to be able to understand when you should get into a trade, right? So you know now, we already know that the overall move for GU, right, is to come all the way back down here. Right? We know that the overall journey of this particular pair is to come back here. And all you need to do now is make sure that you have a cheap entry. You don't want to get into the trade expensive. Getting into the trade expensive is you deciding right now that you're going to sell. And what that means is that you will have some drawdown while the trade goes up and do it retest before it comes back and put you back into profit, and you don't want that. Getting in cheap is you waiting until it pulls back, waiting for a pattern to fall to form to show you that the sell is getting ready again, and then you take the sell from that pattern up there. You're getting in cheap. You're able then to participate in the entire move to the downside. Am I clear, everyone? If I'm clear, just type clear in the chat box. Just type clear in the chat box. Right? And all you need to do, you can still use the bounce back strategy waiting for trend line break, because you guys should know basic bounce back strategy, right? Get a solid break of the candle and then wait for the MACD line to cross, right? This is the entry strategy. Solid break, MACD line cross, and you sell and pick up your 15 pips or so, right? You sell and you pick up your 15 pips, and this dropped more than 15 pips, so you would have been out of this trade by now. It bounce back. But I want you to understand what is bounce back teaching you. Bounce back is not just a product. It is an entry strategy, right? It is a strategy. So therefore, when you are using the bounce back strategy to enter a trade, that's your entry strategy. That has nothing to do with patterns. That has nothing to do with market structure and key levels. Is IM Academy. Right? That has nothing to do with patterns. And the thing is that you can fully maximize bounce back and fully maximize, you know, trading as a whole if you take your time and actually say, let me wait for a pattern to form. And I'll be honest with you, the reason why a lot of people do not do well in trading is because they lack patience. And that's the honest truth. I've been trading this market for over 2 years. I've been coaching for a year now, and I can tell you, I have been through so many people. I have developed so many people, and I can tell you, the thing that most of these people have in common is that they lack patience. We want money now. We're going to sell now because we feel as though we're going to miss the move. I don't want to miss the move. I want to catch this bag. Let me get hit. You hear noise around you with people making this amount of money and that amount of money. You want to try to make the money too, so you want to jump in the market. And I can tell you right now, if you take your time and you follow the rules that I have showed you here today, I guarantee you, every one of you on this call, 57 of you, can become very profitable and really rich. Like, being real honest, you guys can become really rich. And you will become rich. Keep coming to my classes, and you will see how it benefit you. A lot of you will be thanking me in the long run. Right? A lot of you will be thanking me in the long run. Good. So some setups that I'm looking at to happen overall. Euro odd, right? Let's look at these setups quickly so that some of you guys have TTT in about 10 minutes. So I don't want to keep you from that, right? So Euro odd. All right. No, Euro odd. I want you guys to be very careful with Euro odd. Yes, I agree with a short-term buy, but overall, when we look at the pattern that is forming, this is on the daily time frame, guys, right? Daily time frame. I know that Stevenson has called a buy. I just want you to have an understanding of where we expect the buy to go, right? So why did Stevenson call a buy? We are at daily support. We are at daily support, and you can see that the trade is literally trending in this channel, right? And when we look at this type of pattern and we go to our cheat sheet, let's go to our cheat sheet. There we go. There we go. Right here. This is what is forming a bearish variant, right? It's a bearish flag. It's literally a continuation flag to the downside. So you know that on the daily time frame, this is a continuation flag for the downside. However, it is due a pullback. Why? Because we're at daily support. So we're coming down to the 1 hour time, the 4 hour time frame, and what do we need to do? We need to identify a pattern, right? So we're identifying the pattern. And I know a lot of you looking at this pattern, you can already tell that this is a reversal pattern, right? You can tell that this is a reversal pattern, and you know based on how it's slanted, right? Once you see the market breaking down, slanting in this direction, you know that this is a reversal pattern for the market to come back up, right? Let's look and see what type of pattern that is. I don't think they have it on this particular one, you know. No. But that pattern, this, I want you guys to look at this. This is usually called a falling wedge, right? This pattern here, once you see the market has an impulse and then it still continues to break down in this type of slant, it is a falling wedge. It is a reversal pattern, right? So what are we expecting now? We're going to identify our mid-range resistance on the 4 hour time frame, right? This is our resistance here. You can see. So therefore, I am expecting the trade to break my trend line eventually and go up to this area, right? That's where I expect the trade to go. And if you look, looks like a W to me, right? You should be able to identify the W. W here, and then you can get a W there as well. All right, so yes, I am looking for the buy, but I want you guys to be careful. I'm trading the buy. Make sure you try to get in as early as possible, right? But please do not enter until we have a solid body candle. You know how I teach you guys. We need a solid body candle, literally breaking our trend line, right? And then the MACD corresponding with that break. So you should have the MACD crossing to the upside, right? In order to get in for this buy, right? You can take that buy all the way up to this resistance. So that's a trade for you guys for this week. You have Euro odd as a really, really nice trade for you to get into, right? So I will post that in the Telegram group. USD CAD. right? USD CAD, I'm going to come on the daily time frame. I'm going to look and see where this trade is currently, right? So what am I seeing? I can see that we're currently at a daily support, right? We're at a daily support, right? So we see the M pattern. You can see that it's due a pullback. Why? Look at this. You have a strong impulse to the downside, and now we have imbalance to fill because the trade did not come here, went back here, and then came down. It literally just dropped. So now we need to fill this imbalance, right? You guys tune in to Abel, right? Now, what did I say about the previous period? Euro odd. When I was talking about euro odd just now, I told you guys that if you see the market does a impulse and then it starts to break down like this to the downside slanted, you know to look for a pullback, right? So all you're going to do, you could come down to the 1 hour time frame, you may be able to draw it better, right? Is come here in the 1 hour time frame, draw your trend line, and you're going to wait for that break. The break could happen around here. If the break happens in this resistance, this support equals resistance area, don't enter it there. Enter it once it has actually come out of that area. So you want to make sure that you're out of, you have a solid body candle breaking the trend line as well as your support zone. It needs to break above, right? And then likewise, your MACD needs to cross, right? So this is another trade. Where do I expect it to go? I expect, honestly, for it to at least test this zone first. And then you guys can look and see if it creates a continuation pattern to the upside after it breaks this zone first, right? So this could be a TP1 for you, and then you could look to see if you get a continuation pattern to form so that you could take it up to the upside. Right? Okay, so just a quick one. Someone has asked me to repeat. When you're looking to enter the trade, so here, when you're looking to enter a trade, notice that I marked out a support zone, right? Notice I marked out a support zone. So in this case, if you're going to enter this trade, I actually prefer you to allow it to break the support zone. To be on the safer side, if you don't know if your support zone is right or not, use this previous high as your gauge. So in other words, let a solid body candle break your trend line as well as your last high here before you enter the trade, right? So you want a solid body candle to break here, that zone. That way you know for sure trade going up, right? So I don't want, if you're not sure if when you draw your support zone, right, if it's going to be as accurate as mine, then you can use the last high that the trade created. This is on the 1 hour time frame or even the 30-minute time frame. You can see it here. You can use the last high as the gauge that you want the trade to break with a solid body candle before you enter the trade, right? And as well, let the MACD lines start to cross over and so on. So that's USD CAD. So you guys know where I expect USD CAD to go. And there's one more trade that I am currently in. Let me just double check and see which one. Not. Okay. AUD USD. All right. AUD USD. Hope you guys are making notes because these are your trades for the week. AUD USD. I'm expecting AUD USD to drop. Here's why. Daily time frame currently at support equals resistance. It becomes easier now. You guys just need to practice. And the best time to enter trades is when they're at key levels. I'm telling you. Right? It pays you. Now, AUD/USD. I can see something here. Looks like one of those patterns we were talking about on GU, right? So I can't see it that clear here. So we're going to come down to the 1 hour time frame. We're going to look and realize that the trade started to break down here and create that rising wedge. Everybody should be able to see it, right? Everybody should be able to see that. So what am I looking for to happen? Now, I can't directly draw a trend line here because as you can see, we've moved away from going up now till we're actually consolidating. So if I wanted to get into this trade, what would be a safe zone, coach, for me to enter this trade? Because I know you guys will be asking. Me personally, I would do a sell stop, right? I would do a sell stop around here. So basically, the trade, again, taking out the last low that it created, I'm going to do a sell stop below that low. You can give it some room, right? Basically, to tell the trade, once you've broken this resistance key zone, as well as this miniature support level here that we can see, you should be able to activate me on the way down, right? Your stop loss above the overall high. Give it some room just in case the trade had to come back up and do a double top before it came down. At least you know that your stop loss is high. The overall direction for this trade, let me show you guys the overall direction. Overall direction for this trade is here, right? So when it comes down to the 1 hour time frame, you guys can then budget that the trade should drop at least to this area, right? We're going to use this one here as our take profit. 1 second. Let me just bring it up. Just a tad bit. There, should be there now. Right here, right? Which is where this started to get that breakdown, right? So the rest in here that you can see that little low that it created, where it broke above, retested, and then start to get the breakdown up. This is the overall direction that I'm expecting this trade. But I'm going to post this in the Telegram groups, but I'm just showing you guys what it is that I am looking for to happen. Yes, you can enter on the 15-minute time frame. You can identify a pattern on the 15-minute time frame and use that to get in. And the last one that I'm going to go on so that you guys can get onto TTT, because I know I have you on here a little late, is Eurochef. So any of you using Steady should know that Eurochef called that John Dollery called a sell on Eurochef, and here is why. So this is what I mean. When a product gives you a signal, right? When a product gives you a signal, try to understand what it is that they're seeing. Why did they call this trade, this sell? So when you come here, right, you can even start from here. You could look here and say, hang on a minute, I see a lot of wicks in this area, right? So we know that we are at daily resistance, right? Daily resistance. This will be daily support here, right? We got support here as well. So we come down to the 1 hour time frame and we can see what can we see. And this is a little more complicated, but for you to identify a pattern, unless your eyes become really good, you may not have been able to identify this move here. But what you have here, if you come down to 1 hour time frame, probably will have more body, right? So what you can see here, you have impulse, flag. Now we're looking for the drop. Can everybody see this? Everybody understand what it is that we're seeing? Just say yes if you can see the flag, the impulse, the flag. I know we're looking for the drop. Everybody can see it? Awesome. Good. So now we're looking for this to drop. And the beauty about Steady is that we got him for this sell around the top, which is beautiful. But if you didn't get him to this sell as yet, that is okay. you can just have a little patience, please, right? And I'm going to put a note here and say, right? That's it. If you could just have a little patience, you're going to have your time to enter this particular trade. You just need to wait for the break of the trend line, and then you're in. All right. Overall direction for this trade, like I said, first of all, this is the first support, and you guys got to be able to pick this out, right? This is the first support that we see here. So the guys that took it really steady, more likely this will be your first TP, because you can see how the market is here bouncing, right? And then the second TP then will be coming down into this zone, right? From here first, and then the next one would be here, back down to daily support. So these are the three take profits here: TP1, TP2, and TP3. All right, so that's your setups for the week, guys. You only need a few quality trades, and then you can literally win on the market. All right, guys. So let me stop my share, and I'm going to ask the question. If you have received value from this call tonight and you have learned something on my call, please type pips in the chat box. If you have received value from my call, type pips in the chat box. If you know that you're going to catch bags this week from what it is I've sent out, please type pips in the chat box. Thank you so much, guys. So much. I truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate you joining me on this call tonight. And thank you if you were taking notes. Again, this call is recorded. I'm going to post it on YouTube. I know that it was a lot of information for you guys to take in. So please watch it over. I know that Sherwin has his notes written down and he's ready to trade the market. So guys, again, until next week, Tuesday, have a pitful week and enjoy your night.